What's up, YouTube? Mr. LlamaSC here, and today we're going to be talking about the Throw Barbarian. Is he good? Is he great? Is he the best class in the game now? No, but he's not bad. Let's dive into it all. So, first things first, we have a level 87 Barbarian that I've just built up over the past couple days. Just got him a little bit of gear, been moving all around, testing him out, and what not, the like of it all. And so let's go ahead and chat a little bit about this character and where he's at. Overall, I want to give him around like a B minus, maybe something like that. I think that's where he's at, mostly because I have stacked him with some pretty decent gear. And while he can perform anywhere in the game, it still feels like he's not like the best performer. And for all the gear that we have, it's, well, you'll see in a second. We can go over that. But let's start with the gear first. So I'm running Eth War Strikes. This is for the 50% Deadly Strike. Also, you get the Pierce on it, which is really nice. And then you make them ethereal because you get the replenished quantity. But now you don't even really need replenished quantity because you just replenish everything yourself. So now even if a weapon doesn't have replenished quantity, you can still run it, I'm pretty sure. And it'll totally be fine. So Eth weapons just are more damage. Then the other weapon is Eth Lacerator. We can move it over here. This has the 33% chance to cast level 3 amplified damage on striking, which is huge. Not only does this break physical immunes, but it also increases your damage, right? You get the amp damage, which is a big increase to your physical damage. So when you're hitting this, you hit the amp damage, plus you have the deadly strike on this weapon, and then overall your deadly strike, and it really increases, right? I mean, this is 1 in 3 hits you're going to get amp damage, so you're always amp damaging everything. Fantastic. So this is a great combination of weapons. For my helm, I've got a Ariat. I just slapped a random 39 ED jewel into it right now, but we'll put like a 4015 or something in it later. This was just kind of a temporary thing to get a little bit of extra damage, but I love it for so many things. Obviously, all the plus skills, the hit recovery, the bonus AR is really nice, lifesteal, and then 30 all res and some strength and dex is good. High Lords for the 32% Deadly Strike is really nice on top of the skills Light Res and IAS. But again, this Deadly Strike added with that Deadly Strike, now this weapon hits 82% of the time, plus the Deadly Strike down here. So almost all the time you're going to be hitting with Deadly Strike with this weapon, and then still a lot of the times with the Lacerator. Fortitude for the 300 ED, and then some resistances. You can also run Enigma to teleport around and make it a little faster. So you're like teleporting for like pit runs or something. You're going to lose a lot of the ED, but it's nice and has the added MF and all of that. Laying of Hands, 350% damage to demons, plus the fire res is really nice. And then of course the 20 IAS. I'm using dual Ravens right now. I actually have this ring that I was using over one of my Ravens. So let's swap that out. This just has a little more damage, 118 AR, and then some lifesteal and res and a little bit of MF as well. So just for a little bit more damage right there, and then some good lifesteal to add on, which is just helpful. We have Razor Tail, which has some dexterity to help out, plus of course the 33% piercing attack. So again, the more that we can pierce, the better, because you're going to be hitting multiple mobs with this, and that's just going to increase your damage a ton, right? And then we have Ravenfrost with the 230-20 right there. Cannot be frozen, so you need at least one source of it. And Gore Riders for Crushing Blow, Deadly Strike, and Open Wound. So once again, more Deadly Strike to apply. For our charms, I actually need to swap out a couple of these because I don't need the added dex right now. We'll just put some random dudes in over there. I'm mostly just running whatever... What's this? We can also swap that probably. Yeah, whatever. I'm mostly just running whatever max damage, attack rating, life charms that I can get here. So I've just got kind of a variety of ones. Some of them are like better ones than others. And then just kind of 2, 17, 18. I've got some resistance charms in there as well, just to overstack because I was doing Ubers. And then that poison was for Ubers as well. So you can choose, you know, obviously to get more like 3 20/20s, whatever you can, to fit into all of that. My gear is a little bit mixed up right now. I've got some fast run walks I was working with, and you can put MF charms if you want to MF a little bit. Whatever. But this is all of the gear, and then just 2 Warcry spears on the offhand right now. For my stats and skills, my stats, I've jammed more into Vitality than I probably need. I could definitely shift some of this over into Dexterity. It'll increase the attack rating and the damage for the weapons. So a lot of times, probably you'll run like 200 Vitality and then maybe have like 350 Dexterity or something like that. Totally a way that we could do it. I'm going to probably respec this Barbarian here in a bit. I was just kind of doing a general life spec on him to start out. But that's a great way to increase some damage. For the build, we have Throwing Mastery, which now, of course, gives us the replenished quantity, which is super great. But then we have 31% chance of crit strike. So again, another crit chance, 49% chance to pierce. And then, of course, the chance to not consume quantity. So we never lose weapons throwing this. Everything else is 1, and 1 in Axe Mastery for if I'm frenzying. Maxed Battle Orders, of course, 1 point in the other things. And then maxed Double Throw and Double Swing, and 1 point in the other 3 here. So this is our current spec. I've got 5 skill points remaining. I'm still trying to decide if I want to put them into increased stamina to make it so my Frenzy Barb portion of it will last longer, so then I can have that frenzy up longer for my throws, or if I want to just like put it in find item, or you know, some find potion find item mix. Still debating a little bit of that. And then of course Barb Torch and Annie was for the gear pieces there. So let's get into now a little bit of his fighting and why I like him and all of this. I'll grab my mercenary and show him really fast. So Ilzon's using an Eth Fortitude, an Eth Andes with a Ral, and then an Eth Pride Thresher. This is for that concentration aura. You could also use a mercenary with Faith, right? Like an Act 1 mercenary with Faith or something. So having him is a nice boost to damage. So first we'll go and we'll just do a little bit of some basic stuff. The nice thing is with his movement, you can see I have Frenzy on my left hand and then Double Throw on my right hand. So with this, I can Frenzy up and I can build up some charges, and then I can use those to either A, just run around a little bit, which is why I said I like the duration. You just need to like tap once every 6 seconds essentially to keep it up. Or we could use it, of course, for just having some insanely fast throws, as it does increase our throw speed as well, right? So that is a very nice part, but we'll just use it to kind of get to Andy here first, just to show off a little bit of like Andy and all of this and kind of his damage in a couple different places of the game. Again, something that's really nice about this character is the clear speed can actually be really nice with the AoE if you can kind of line them up. It's a little bit like a Necromancer with Bone Spear, where you want to kind of get that little bit of a line for those mobs. But then also with the amp damage, when they're together like that, you get that amp damage hit, which can help proc a ton. And for physical immunes, you're also clearing physical immunes as well. So I think he really does have a solid clear speed. Again, this is very good gear, though, for this character, which is a big change from, you know, if he's running without gear. But we can also take a look at, like, what some worse gear looks like and such. So the nice thing is he's going to have not bad at all boss killing potential because you do have that crushing blow. That is P1. You could go up to, like, P3, you know, and he'd still be totally fine. For that stuff, right? Additionally, if we come out and go to like Outer Cloister and go towards the pit, so we can just get over to the pit here, you'll be able to see that again, his damage and kind of the potential use case here is very nice for this character here. And see if this actually takes us. Perfect. So, you know, Pit is an area level 85 where you can go to really try and farm some bosses. And again, this is where I think if you had Enigma or something, it could definitely be nice. And you could run a little bit of like a find item build. But, you know, you can go in and very quickly pop down some of these bosses. Doesn't take a lot at all. And then if you have Enigma, again, you're just jumping, you know, teleporting to those bosses and kind of hitting them from there, which is really nice. And so then you can just go and, you know, do your typical Horking and all this stuff. And I think he does kind of have a similar, you know, you're going to have a little bit less magic find. But again, if you're running Enigma, plus you're running War Travs and a few MF charms, that right there can get you, you know, 200 to 250 MF and put you in a nice little spot. You have one Jeed's charm, you know, a couple things like that. Maybe that ring like I had. Or you could run like a Nagel ring right here or something. And I think you definitely have potential to have something decent. Oh my god, I just want to get this potion. So, overall, I feel like his clear speed there is not bad at all. And yes, of course, on your offhand, you could have like Alibaba's or something for when you do pop the bodies, right? If you do want to go into that magic finding route. Now, if we take it over to something like Travancore, it's going to be actually similar in that it can be pretty crushing, right? So we can just pop up here and just kind of very quickly, and again, if you can line them up, you'll be able to kill a lot of these, a lot of them very, very quickly, do some good damage, and then of course you can get to the find item portion of it very fast. Let me kill Torque. Stone Skin doesn't matter too much, still really good damage. There's a little lore on the ground for us. And I don't have a great find item chance. Oh, there we go. It was busted. I was like, I feel like I should drop something from one of those maybe. But, yeah. So that Travancore was actually really fast. I think you could totally make this into like a little bit of a Travancore barb there as well. And then just kind of everywhere. You can go through the Chaos. You can go through the World Stone. You can do all the Bale Waves. I mean, if you run into physical immunes even as well, like I want to go find Harpies or something. I guess I could go find, we'll go to the Arcane Sanctuary. Like, it kills everything. And, I don't have Arcane. It kills everything. And that's kind of why I like putting this in the B range, because I do think it's really fun, especially for the players that want to just do a lot of the game. They want to go and kill Endariel, Mephisto, kill the Summoner, go kill Nilithat, go kill the Countess, go to the Chaos, go to Bale, do all the waves, blah, 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 blah. Additionally, it can do Ubers. It can do Declone, right? Like, this build is complete jack of all trades, able to do anything. And yeah, if you're doing Ubers, you want like Guillaume's Face, maybe Demon Lamb, right? Drax, T-Gods. Like, I have some gear here for this. Maybe pre-buff with Tretch. These sorts of things are helpful for that. It's not the fastest Uber killers by any means. We've done it a couple times. It got faster, but it still wasn't like amazingly mind-blowingly fast. Bale still was pretty difficult to kill. But we got through it. You know, it was one of those things that like, okay, eventually it did get through. We got our torch, blah, blah, blah. All great. It was pretty safe, especially if you do it completely right. So, it's nice. It's a nice build. You can as well shift down the gear. Like, let's say, okay, we drop down to Treachery and a regular Lacerator and some regular War Strikes. Because these are going to be maybe like Vex to Oma Pop. These are going to be like, I don't know, Pull, maybe. They're not going to cost a lot. This is like Lem, you know. So this right here already, this whole setup, pretty darn cheap, right? Regular War Strikes, regular Lacerator, not that expensive. Ariat's Face, maybe like Pole Rune. Gore Riders, probably like a Lem Rune. High Lords is maybe going to be a little bit more expensive, but you could even run without it. I mean, you could swap something else on there. Treachery is a Lem Rune. Ravenfrost isn't going to be too expensive. You get some lower ones if you want. Razor Tail, not too expensive. Laying of Hands, people drop these for free. Now, all these charms are going to be a little bit more expensive. You can definitely get some lower ones, some like 8 maxes that are going to be a little bit cheaper. Don't get like 10 maxes that are, really decent, but you can mix and match some cheaper ones of those in there. But even if we're just running around like this and still missing out on that, I mean, it's like the damage just, speaks for itself. There's still fantastic damage. That took 2k off our damage, but it still just doesn't matter because, again, we still have Amp. We still have... Ooh, Whizpike. We still have Amp. We still have all this Deadly Strike. We still have so many things. So you can really knock a lot of stuff off, and it's still a fantastic character, I feel like. Or a decent character, I should say. It feels like when you get him fully maxed, he doesn't quite hit that, like, top tier that I was hoping he would hit. Like, I don't want to put him as like an A tier, like a solid A tier build, because he just requires so much gear to get decent. But if you take some of these things off, right? Let's take some of these charms off and stuff. And then let's go to, I don't know, let's go to the river. Right? Like, our damage has dropped significantly there, and yet still okay. Right? Still not bad at all. And this is a cheap build. This really is not an expensive part of the build at all. And the character is still totally fine and can still go and clear a lot of the game. So, to me, he functions like a slightly better Boazon, in that a physical Boazon, when she doesn't have as much gear, really suffers. With him, if he doesn't have as much gear, he's still not bad at all, right? So you can have this, and again, it's like we can keep taking more and more stuff off, but you can see how the damage, like, is still solid for this character overall. I'm going to do a guided playthrough with this character in the future to really kind of emphasize that and show more of that off. But I just wanted to show kind of a general piece. And yes, I still have Pride giving concentration aura. I know, it's still added damage. But the character, you can see how fast he was killing with Pride. Take the Pride away, he still has good damage. Okay. That's the point I'm trying to make. He can still go around. You can still do a lot of stuff. It's going to be slower. It's obviously. But it's fine. So, yeah. I mean, that's kind of the throw barb. He never, ever runs out. Ever. I can't even get this to drop to 269 quantity. I mean, I'm throwing my heart out. It physically won't even drop a single point. So, you never have to worry about throwing out of anything, which is why I say the replenished quantity is now a worthless stat pretty much. And that's a lovely piece about this, is you never have to go back and do anything like that. Get good speed on him, get some okay damage, and you can do some stuff. So I'm good with it right there. I feel like that kind of covers it. Like I say, I put him in the B tier somewhere. Maybe he's not a B minus. Maybe he's like in the B, which is so much better than he used to be, right? Before Throwbarb really like was all gear, and even then it wasn't fantastic. And I didn't expect him to be a Hammerden. I did hope he would clear Ubers a little faster, just based on how much I had stacked him. So that was the only really disappointing part. But I do like that I can take him to the pits, take him to Trav, take him to Chaos, take him anywhere I want. He's tanky. He has decent damage. His attack rating's decent. All of this stuff. I really think they did a good job with like this throwing mastery boost and just the help from that, overall. I think that really has helped the character. So, anyways, that's the Throw Barb. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. I'd love to hear if any of you have played the Throw Barb since then, how he's been working for you, what you've been enjoying. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you do decide to make him, let me know how it goes. Again, I'll probably do a guided playthrough of him as well. So if you're wanting to like play through with him and get some more thoughts as we play through, then that'll be coming up probably in the next few weeks. Regardless, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace, YouTube.